Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. AI is kind of a hot topic.
Yeah.
Like it's everywhere these days, right? And everyone's kind of wondering how it's going to change the world.
Right.
And today we're going to get into how AI is going to impact your job,
Yeah.
like specifically what you do for work every day. You know,
Yeah, definitely.
we've got a ton of research and articles here from McKinsey, Forbes, even like career advice platforms like the Muse, and honestly, it's a little bit of a wild ride reading through this stuff.
Yeah.
Because we've got all this really exciting potential of AI on one hand, but then, there's also like some real serious anxieties about people losing their jobs.
Right.
It's like a double-edged sword.
Really is.
Yeah.
It's one of the most intensely debated things right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
And for good reason. It's going to be a huge change
Yeah.
in how humans and technology interact.
Yeah. Okay, so let's break this whole thing down a little bit. One of the first things that really stood out to me going through all these articles is this whole automation thing. We see it everywhere. Tesla's got robots building cars in their factories.
Yeah.
Banks are using those chatbots to answer customer questions now.
Mm.
And I mean, don't even get me started on Amazon's warehouse robots. Those things are crazy.
They're everywhere. What's interesting about all those examples, though, is that they all have that same theme. AI is really good at those tasks that are predictable, that are repetitive.
Yeah.
Like McKinsey, for example. They predict something like 30% of the tasks in 60% of jobs could be automated.
Wow, that's like a huge chunk of the workforce.
That's, yeah.
So reading that makes you think okay, is my job going to be next?
Right, yeah.
But then at the same time, some of these sources are surprisingly, I don't know, optimistic.
Right.
You know?
I think if we look past being afraid of losing our jobs,
Huh.
we can see that AI can actually free us up from a lot of those, I don't know, boring tasks. The stuff most of us don't really enjoy doing anyway.
Right, exactly.
Like Forbes, they were pointing out that AI could boost how productive we are, globally, by 40%
Right.
by 2030.
That's a lot.
That's huge, yeah. And that means companies get more done with fewer people, could lead to the economy growing, new markets, new
Yeah.
industries.
It's almost like AI could unlock this
Yeah.
secret innovation potential or something.
Yeah.
And the Muse even talks about how brand new jobs are being created.
Right.
Things like, what was it, AI development,
Yeah.
data science, machine learning. That sounds pretty cool to me.
Yeah, it is. But those jobs need a whole different skill set, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And AI isn't just about these new jobs being made. It's about changing the jobs that already exist.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Think about healthcare, for example. AI is getting really good at looking at medical images and being able to spot things like tumors, often even better than human doctors can.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's not like replacing doctors. It's giving them a new tool to do their job better.
Exactly. And then that creates new roles, too, for people who can, develop those AI systems, implement them, manage them. So, yeah, some healthcare jobs might be automated, but others are being augmented or created from scratch.
That's a really important difference, I think.
Yeah, it is.
So it's not like this, robots are taking our jobs kind of thing. It's more how is AI changing, the nature of work?
Exactly. And that leads to the big question, right?
Yeah.
How do we get ready for that future? We found this Nexford University study, and it's really interesting. They're predicting these huge shifts in the job market between 2024 and 2030.
Okay.
And they say there's going to be this growing demand for skills like critical thinking, complex problem solving, things like that, creativity.
So basically all those things that...
Make us human.
Right. Exactly. The things that AI, at least right now, can't really do.
Yeah, yeah. But how do we, I guess, develop those skills?
It's all about lifelong learning, always improving your skills, being able to adapt to change. It's about having a growth mindset, being okay with getting outside your comfort zone.
And maybe taking some coding classes along the way.
Right, exactly.
But seriously, this is a lot, What do you think is the most important takeaway for someone listening to all this right now?
I think the biggest thing is that AI is a tool, a really powerful tool, of course, but it's still just a tool.
Okay.
It's up to us how we use it. We can choose to be afraid of it, or we can use it as a way to, create a better future of work.
Yeah.
One that's more productive, more fulfilling, more human even.
I really like that. That's a great way to put it. And for all of you listening, I really encourage you to check out some of these sources that we talked about today. They're really interesting, lots of predictions and even tips for navigating this whole AI thing. But here's a thought, I don't know, something to think about. What if instead of asking, will AI take my job? Okay. We start asking, how can I use AI to make my job better?
Oh.
Anyway, that's all we've got time for today. See you next time for another deep dive.